Hey all you Hulk Hogans and Macho Mans! I'm Dale Robin Jr. III, and this is the 26th episode of Slow to Pro, a YouTube series where I go from slow to becoming as desperate to be fast as I am for my ex-wife Sheila to come back home. Today we're starting off in a public multiplayer lobby at Spa, and I still cannot pronounce the rest of the track name or any of the turns, so this is going to be a short clip to show you the dangers of running VR on an older system. You see, at any moment, an issue like this could pop out and bite you, especially if you were raised like me, to put your foot down through the smoke. Now again, as I said, this is a public lobby, and I know to be cautious through Eau Rouge, and I know that things can get hairy in the straight. And the only surprise so far is the fact that everyone seems to be being respectful as these GT3 cars stretch their legs down the longest straight on the circuit. But it's not gonna last. As we come to the braking zone, someone decides they don't have to and shifts that BMW into another dimension. No big deal, we sneak behind. And as we come through, my cold trickle senses were tingling. I nailed the gas right here thinking I'm gonna make it through. Here we go, here we go, here we go. If that car hadn't popped in like that, I'd have had a nice clip, but instead I got clipped. So here we go, double race bonus, back to Monza, the home of pizza, the cathedral of cheese. And we're going to start as close to the back as possible because this server had a really low safety requirement. People in here, it could be their first race or their 101st race. It really could be a range of people, so I'd rather just have them all in front of me. It'll make the races more exciting for me because there's bound to be some drivers in here as bad as I am, and it pushes me to be better and better. As we hit the first chicane, no major incident. Everyone was being responsible, and that was a major surprise again considering the low safety requirement of this lobby. So as we come through Curva Grande, typically you'll have people that get spun around here as they jockey for their final position as they come into the chicane. But again, everyone responsible. So as we come through the chicane, I'm thinking, oh, nothing's gonna happen, but here it is. It's our first incident. Somebody gets turned around. We're able to keep the car under control and get around it at a decent pace. Didn't lose too much time there. And then we get a Porsche spun out on the side of the road here. See Isabina's cousin. Talk to you at the end of the race. Now we're gonna start to stretch our legs a little bit, and I've got to remind myself as we lose that Merc behind us. See you, bud. That it's important to keep the car within the limits here, especially at the start. Meaning, we can't be at max braking, because if I need to slow down, I need to be able to slow down a little more, a la this, because if I can't slow down more there, if I'm on the limit already, we're gonna spin out then. So it's good to keep a little bit of room in your performance. We close out the first lap, and here comes a dive bomb. Luckily saw that big yellow Mercedes coming up in my mirror there. Barely avoided it. But he did get my blood pumping. He didn't even give me the spot back. Where's this guy's honor? At this point, I'm laser focused on saying, hey, I saw what you did, but this is how it's done, and getting like a good pass on him. But the two camels in front of him decide to butt heads and go racing off with the sand, and then when they decide that that's silly, they decide to push me to the far side of the track, and I lose my line into the next turn. And that just helps the Mercedes escape from the death grip of Zabina, which is probably going to happen even without those two guys pushing me around, but it was fun to blame other people, and now I see why you do it so often, Sheila. Our next bit of action came on the following lap after the final chicane. There's just cars littered around the track like my clothes on the lawn 8 years ago when Sheila saw some of my text messages, but we make it through now just like we did back then. By slowing down a little bit, finessing a tiny bit, and then foot to the gas through the flames like you did nothing wrong at all. And those messages were just a joke, and so were those sorry drivers spun out behind us. Now it's time to stick to this Porsche, keep it tight and tight. If we get a better exit or his car is damaged, in hindsight, I think his car was damaged. But that's got nothing to do with me, so we're going to go ahead and creep up alongside, and we're going to make the pass stick before entering the braking zone. And then the Porsche decides to run off like my ex-wife. Thankfully, his plans didn't include me. I'm not so thankful Sheila's plans didn't include me. And our next bit of action is me screwing the pooch on the final turn. I think I braked a little too late, and once I saw I gave up the inside line, I decided to at least try to maintain my speed and use the advantage that we get here. So we take a better exit, and now we're gonna end up side by side down the straight. If you look at the radar there on the top center of the screen, you'll see. And then the replay on the bottom right. We're just eking out a lead on this guy, but he does have the inside line and he is faster than me, so he's going to officially take the spot right there. Good for him. This next situation developed over I think it was about a 2-lap span. That blue Lamborghini that passed us, he's gotten himself into an absolute dogfight with a Bentley, which allowed us to catch up to this Ferrari and make it a 4-position battle. So we're going to try to stick as tight and tidy as we can to this Ferrari. My goal here is to get a pass and try to catch back up to the Bentley and the Lamborghini, because they're starting to get a little bit away from this Ferrari. But as we come into the final turn, we do it nice, we keep it clean, and we're all packed in a bunch here. This is going to be an exciting turn 1 coming up. I'm thinking here, can I get the draft? Zabina is not the best in straight lines. For whatever reason, I feel like every other car is just faster than the Porsche, but I still try. If I can get in a draft, obviously I can keep up, but if we're side by side, I'm usually going to lose that battle. We come through the bus stop, everybody keeps it under control, which is a surprise. I was really hoping for at least one mistake there. You know, I love my free positions. And then as we come here through Curva Grande, again, everybody keeping it tidy. Up into the next chicane. See what's gonna happen, because I completely forget. At some point somebody makes a mistake. It's not here. It's not here. Alright, here it is coming up. The Bentley's gonna get wild all on his own, and I think the Ferrari clips the inside wall. Yeah, there he goes. There's the wall. The Bentley's all over the goddamn place, and then he decides, brakes. What are we doing? What are we thinking, man? At least he gives me the position. He realizes, wow, I'm a big old doofus. Gives me the spot, but man, there goes the gap to the Ferrari. We were right on his tail there. That was exciting. And now the race is over. That's how we finished. So if you enjoyed today's video and want to find your way back, make sure to subscribe down below and click the like button to show Sheila that I'm not actually a loser. Leave a comment if there's any mean things to say or any questions you might have. Thanks for watching this episode of Slow to Pro. I'm Del Robin Jr. III. You guys have the kind of day you want to have.